Called StarTrekContinue.com. And it's about the original Star Trek series. You can watch it for free. It's amazing. The quality was directed by a guy named Vic Maganja, who played Captain Kirk. He recreated it. So he came to me, and he knew that I was a big Star Trek fan, and he said, I have a great character for you to play called Zamahan, a slave trader from another planet. But he said he's an evil bastard. Evil. I said, sure, I can play that easily. So anyway, they got me in makeup, 5 hours in makeup, bald head, goatee. And when you see the me on the show, the episode called Lolani, when you see it, you won't know me at the beginning, but I'm one evil son of a gun. So, and the way I treat women at the show, not very pretty. So if you get a chance, check it out, because to me, that's acting. I mean, Star Trek, like the original, being a Trekkie.
You're a big Trekkie?
Yeah.
Next question on this side.
Mr. Ferrigno, thanks for coming here. And what the success of the MCU, what you think about the work of Mark Ruffalo?
He'd like to know your thoughts on Mark Ruffalo.
Well, Mark is a wonderful actor. No, Mark is a wonderful actor, but we had 3 different actors. We had Eric Bana, Edward Norton,
yeah.
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, sorry, Eric Bana, Edward Norton.
Right.
Yeah.
I like Bill Bixby the best. I like Edward Norton, but Ruffalo, I think he's a wonderful actor. We blended in with the Marvel aspect of the adventure. But I can't take him serious enough because Bill has that intensity. Bill Bixby?
Oh, yeah.
And you knew that when he was in danger, you could feel that intensity. But because of Marvel and Disney, they're taking a different direction. You can't take it seriously like the original series. That's why people just love it so much, because I've got so many fans come up to me, they tell me when they were young, they were frightened to watch it. But they get behind the couch, but when they see me at the Hulk,
the eyes.
They want to see the Hulk because that attraction, because it's the build-up, the adrenaline. That's what makes the show.
And there was also that extra, the music walking down, the kind of that feeling of it's like forlorn. It's very.
But you want to take Dave or Banner, Bill Bixby, in your home. Like if you see him in the neighborhood, you want to comfort him because you see what he's going through. All that elements were beautiful.
On this side.
All right, so in the past couple of years, the superhero trend is gotten more and more popular. We have spin-offs of everything. If you had to choose, in which TV series or movie would you like to play in right now?
Of all the different superhero properties out there, TV, movies, which one would you want to participate in? You, Lou Ferrigno. So it wouldn't even have to be the Hulk, right? Even if any superhero, it could be DC, it could be Marvel, it could be something else. What's the one series that you'd want to be in?
Me, probably an Asian character of like Superman. Or other kind of character, because I grew up with Superman. When I was a little kid, I came home from school, I had to watch the original Superman series with George Reed, because children believe he's real. So I grew up with that. To me, that was the most impressive thing to me. So if they had a current series and they brought like an Asian character to it, I would love to be involved with that, because Superman, was my favorite besides the Hulk. It would definitely be that.
Who would win in a fight, the Hulk or Superman?
The current Superman?
The Hulk? Yeah, sorry, the current, yes, exactly. You as the Hulk, or even Christopher Reeves as the Hulk? As Superman, sorry.
Well, they did show, I think, recently a special effect, like a cartoon, the Hulk fights Superman.
Yeah.
That was very fast, but it was almost equal.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say equal.
My God, that's amazing. You played in the CFL. You played football in Canada, didn't you?
Yeah, I played for a short time for the Toronto Argonauts. I never played football before because my father and people pushed me. They said you could be a great football player because the fact that I did well with the superstars, my athletic ability. And I remember when I played 2 inter-squad games, and I had a good time in Toronto. So I went to the coach. I said, "Listen, I don't like hitting people." He said, "Get out of here, go back to bodybuilding." But it was a lot of fun for me because Canadian football is harder than American football. Because you have 3 downs instead of 4, there's more speed involved. So it was a lot of fun for me. This was back in 1976. And it was a great experience. I'm glad I've done it because I've done all the things I wanted to do. You see, in life, we all have what you call a passion. And I believe that don't worry about trying to find success, wealth, money. Be the best version of yourself that all will follow you. Embrace your passion. That's the whole key in life. If you can do that, you'll be rich. That's what I did because my passion was maximize my personal power, be the best in shape, fit into health and the mindset. Because as a young kid, most of the naysayers say, why are you working out with dumbbells and barbell? What's wrong with you? People put me down telling my parents that I need to see a doctor because all I talk about bodybuilding, muscle, dumbbells and barbell. Now, I listened to the naysayer. If I did, look where I am now. It's all about embracing your passion.
Life lessons from the Hulk. I think we were there last time, so we'll go on this side. Oh, okay, this side, sorry.
Bonjour, je vais, vu que je suis
He's going to ask in French and I'll translate.
c'est ça. J'ai remarqué que beaucoup d'acteurs qui ont joué dans des films d'ici jouent des personnages Marvel et inversement. Mais vous, si vous avez l'occasion de jouer un personnage d'ici, lequel serait-il?
Okay, so he's saying that there seems to be a lot of crossover of actors from DC who may play in an MCU movie and vice versa. So seeing as how you're associated with Marvel, if you could play any character in the DCEU, in the DC entertainment universe, which character would that be?
I'll probably play one of the villains from another planet or something different that like I played like Zamahan, something that he has incredible power, that he wants to control the whole galaxy. Someone like that, but someone that has a lot of integrity at the same time is like a swarthy, evil character. Definitely be like an emperor from another planet or something.
So power is still a big thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think another thing that people might not know about you is that you're a peace officer.
Deputy Sheriff.
Deputy Sheriff?
15 years.
Excuse me. Can you explain a little bit?
Well, you see, my father was an NYPD lieutenant, so I remember talking to the sheriff of LA 15 years ago, how much I like law enforcement. He said, why don't you go through the academy? I didn't want to be the honorary, I wanted to be the real deal. I've always wanted to be a police officer, so I went through the sheriff's academy. It was a challenge because of 6 months of driving, studying. I had my table, I had textbook, a whole table studying about the Constitution, the laws of arrest. It was a challenge for me because the young guy that joined the force, they come right out of high school and they're just naturally like college. So for me, I had to re-educate myself and retrain my mind to handle all these different examinations because we had to take like 15, 17 examinations, like multiple choice. If you fail one, you go home, you're out. So all that pressure, you have like 30 questions, 30 minutes, 60 questions, 60 minutes. And you're under supervision. You have a pencil and paper, no iPhone, no conversation, no nothing. So I focused on that. That was one of my goals because a lot of people thought that I would fall by the wayside, but I pulled it off because now I do a lot of search and rescue, and I'm like a real life hero, giving back to people, saving people's lives. And I give when I give a ticket, they have to give me their autograph, not mine, because they have to sign the ticket.
What is the reaction of someone who is, are being arrested or in some ways interacting with Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, aka the officer in front of
One time I was in a helicopter, had to descend from the helicopter. The woman had a broken leg. She had a motorcycle accident, so she would kind of lay sideways, so they lowered me down. I remember trying to help her put her in the little basket, and she opened her eyes, and she screamed. She goes, "Oh my God, the Incredible Hulk." And then she started to cry and then she fainted. And I said to myself, now I have a woman that fainted. So I was like a double phone issue.
But you are a real life hero because I think I saw recently, you saved someone's life in the gym recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's a tough situation because once I have the uniform on, I take it very seriously because you never know what you encounter. Especially when in LA, all the shooting and all the different situation and gang related. It's tough, but I enjoy it because it's something I want to give back.
We have a question on this side.
Hello, Mr. Ferrigno. Apart from you, who do you think is the best proportioned Hercules between Steve Reeves, Reg Park, and The Rock?
But besides yourself, of all the Herculeses, who is the best proportioned? So is it The Rock, the other two?
Steve Reeves and Reg Park.
Steve Reeves or Reg Park?
I would say Steve Reeves.
I agree.
He was my idol. You know why? Steve Reeves had an 18-inch neck. 18-inch arm, 18-inch calf, and a 29-inch waist.
That's right.
When I was a kid, I went to the movie theaters, and I remember when I saw him pull down the 2 pillows, I said, that's it. That convinced me I was doing the right thing, because besides bodybuilding, reading the magazine, because to me, that was the epitome of man. With power, like I said before when I was reading the comic book. But Stevie was beautiful, he was a handsome man. But that I realized when I saw that on the screen, I said it's okay to be a great bodybuilder with a great build and be Mr. Universe.
Great, thank you. Let's go to this side.
Hi, Lou, I have a question about pumping iron. How was it working with Arnold?
Well, when I was in pumping iron, I wasn't in my best shape because I was training for the superstars, but they came around and decided, these producers, to make the movie Pumping Iron. And I figured, why not? Let's jump on the bandwagon, because it's the first time the public is going to get to see what the bodybuilder is. Arnold at the time was very arrogant, very cocky, he admitted it, but at the same time he was my idol. So I wanted to be on stage with him and defeat him, even though he's 6 years older than me, but I was very honored to be on stage with him. And, you know, we had a great time at the competition. We flew to South Africa, you know, we were dieting and everything. So when the movie came out, it put both of us in the mainstream. But back then, I don't know if you know, the first prize was $700. That was the first prize. Today, Mr. Olympia makes much of $200,000. First prize. But we had nothing with the love of the sport. When you watch the movie today, it's beautiful because when you watch it, you want to go to the gym because it's all about the blood, sweat, and tears. We had nothing. Every one of us has a personality, and it's beautiful because that movie came all about to change everything. That's why you see all this gym today. It's because of me and Arnold, because before me and Arnold came along, you had the YMCA. So thankfully, we're in the right time now.
Do you still have a good relationship with, do you still talk?
Definitely. I see him from time to time. He's 73 now, but he's still exercising, which is great. I mean, we still have him here.
You also appeared in I Love You Man, so a very different kind of movie. What was it like doing comedy?
Well, I did King of Queens for 7 years.
That's true too, yeah, sorry. But you know, a Judd Apatow comedy.
Well, what happened, I did a movie called The Godson with Rodney Dangerfield. The one night the producers of King of Queens they watched me in the movie. They said, why not have Lou one time be a neighbor on the show? So when I became the neighbor, it became a recurring role because they wanted to know if I'd be interested, because in real life, I go through the same thing, people making Hulk jokes, screaming down the street, you know, doing all these different poses. I said, why not? So it became such an iconic character playing myself. Then John Handberg, who wrote Zoolander and Meet the Fockers, and he said, I have a script to read and call I Love You Man. So I read the script, I said, definitely, let's give it a shot. It became the best comedy of 2008. It was hilarious.
Rush and the Hulk in the same movie. It was my Shangri-La. I mean, I Love You Man, great movie, no?
Check it out. It's about romance and bromance.
Okay, which side are we on now? That side.
Hi, Lou. One of the things I liked about your portrayal of the Hulk was when you transform into the Hulk, you never hit anybody. Maybe you shove them, or you destroy a few objects, or you lift heavy objects. Also, I don't like how the original series ended. So I was wondering if you had a chance to write for an ending for the original series, and Bill Bixby was still around, do you think David Banner should ever find a cure, or do you think he should learn to control his relationship with the Hulk and maybe learn how to transform on will, or you know, anger management or something, just like they did in the Avengers Endgame? Like, that's how the Mark Ruffalo became what in comics is the Professor Hulk.
So I'll say we have 2 minutes left, so I think we'll probably end with this.
What about these 4 people, 4 more questions?
Okay, we got 4 more questions.
What's the question you have?
So the question is, well, the person asking the question didn't like how the series ended. I think most of us will agree that, so if Bill was still around and you guys had a chance to redo it, would you take the path of him finding a cure for the Hulk, or just dealing with his anger?
Well, you know, that's a good question, because before Bill died, we did the Hulk episode movie that we called The Death of the Hulk. We were planning to bring they find in the next movie of the week They find David Banner, they take a blood cell, they bring him back to life. But this time, as the Hulk, I had David Banner's brain. Interesting. David inside me functioning as David Banner as the Hulk. But unfortunately, Bill got sick and he passed on. But that's the direction. It's a good question because you want to see a whole different side of the Hulk and also Bill Bixby because we're going to go in that other direction.
I have goosebumps. I would have loved to have seen that. Okay, thank you very much. Now to this side.
I'll make it quick. You're very inspiring. How do you overcome failure in general? Like you can give us some tips.
Overcoming failure. What are your tips to overcome failure?
Overcoming failure? Overcoming failure has to do with what you call a fear factor. Every one of us has fear inside of us. All we can do is embrace the fear, minimize the fear. Like for example, you know what the number one fear in life is? Public speaking. People would jump out of a plane to get on stage or get in front of people. Failure, everyone fails. What you do when you fail, you analyze that fear, you say, okay, I'm gonna get up again and take the next chance. Like for example, I've failed many times in my life. We all make mistakes, we're not perfect. But if you can accept the failure and realize what caused you to make those failures, I think it has a lot to do with the fear factor. Because here's a perfect example. I've been training a lot of people for years, and I've taken people under my wing, for example, to lose weight. I had a woman one time that came to me and she said she wanted to lose weight. When I train people, I see results. And she told me, she said, sure, I'll do everything you tell me to do. A month goes by, she hasn't lost weight, she looks the same. And I knew something was wrong, so I questioned her. And she said, well, I never fail. I said, really? I said, why do you weigh the same? And she didn't say anything. The next day she came to my facility. I walked outside, she didn't see me. So I knocked on the window, I said, how are you? She opened the window, opened the door. There was about 15 donuts falling out the other side door of the car, counting all these donuts. And she looked at me, she started to cry. And she said, my father was in the Holocaust. And he forced me every day to be on the scale. She said, I rebelled against him. The minute she talked about herself and did, she completely changed her body tremendously. That's her fear factor, the fear of success. You see, when you do failure, when you feel you can't succeed, the last thing you can do is analyze yourself and let yourself understand that why did I fail and take the next step to overcome that. You learn by failure. If no one failed, this world would be boring. So just remember that. You'll never, when you fail, you always get up again and succeed. Never look back and say, I can't do it.
So we have two more questions, and I think I actually recognize the man at the mic. Is that Rodrigo?
Yep.
All right, Rodrigo, you got a question.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Lou. First of all, great to have you in Montreal. I want to take you back. You're a two-time back-to-back IFBB champion. The discipline that it takes to get you there. And then you're cast as the Hulk and you go into Hollywood. What was that like, and how did you use that discipline to keep you straight in Hollywood?
So the discipline that you needed to get to your fitness level before going to Hollywood, how did you use that discipline in your life in Hollywood?
Well, it all started when I was young with the speech and hearing. I became a bodybuilder champion because I was told that I can, and I realized that the only person to help myself was me. So I would give myself 100%, I would go to the max. I realized to be a world champion, I had a lot of pain. I realized if I want to be a public speaker and speak better, I had to do speech therapy, work on myself. So to reach that level, it's all about maximizing your own personal power. Be the best you can be with yourself. The minute you compete with other people, you are going to lose. This is not a team sport, it's a solo sport with yourself. Every one of us has a different genetic makeup. Everyone is unique. Like I can't compete with him. He may do different things that I can't do. Like he can't compete with me as the bodybuilder. Or you take like Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner. That I can't compete with him in the Olympics. But because you're genetic, but these kind of individuals, they maximize to be the best that they can be with themselves. Most people can't do that. Most people have this negative voice in their head and they feel there's a stopping point. I've gone beyond that. I want to go all the way till I fall on my face. that did build the discipline, like for bodybuilder to be a world champion, well, I had to become an actor. Why not maximize what I learned as an actor when I'm done with this body within my own potential, my personal power? If you have the ability to do that, you can do anything you want to within the range of the success you want to follow.
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So I think we have 2 last questions. Are you good with 2? Okay, let's go over here.
Mr. Ferrigno, welcome back home.
Thank you.
And thank you for answering the question about the Falling Forth movie that didn't see the light of day. Thank you for answering that ahead of time. But my backup question I have is, I saw an interview clip of you talking about working with Michael Jackson shortly before the start of his This Is It tour. And I guess my question was like, what was he like? Because I've heard a whole bunch of other stories, how he's a great guy and all that stuff. I'm not saying they were lying, but I just want to know from your perspective, especially considering when you said yourself that you were trying to get him back into top form and top shape for that upcoming tour.
Yeah.
Well, I've been training Michael Jackson for over 20 years. We kept it a secret. Michael was a wonderful human being. Michael was so famous that he's more famous than Mickey Mouse. When he came to my house 10 o'clock at night, I had to pull off the lights down and open the electronic gate because of his visibility. So I admire his passion for music, he admired passion for fitness, because we became a good friend. He trusts me because he came to me because he couldn't go to a gym and he doesn't trust any other trainer because we were good friends. But he was such a genuine person. All that crap about him, about the pedophile stuff, I don't believe it. That's my opinion. I spent time with him because I know, other stories come out of the skeletons come out of the closet. But he's been around my family. He's been good with my family. I've never seen him in any weird situation. He was a brilliant man. And when he made the comeback, he was in debt, $430 million. And he had to make the comeback. And I started to train him at the time. And he always had a great positive attitude. But I was very happy because he had 3 kids with him. And he's a beautiful man. He had difficulty sleeping. But I've never seen such a human being that's so, the charisma about him, the way he moved, the way he sang. So we lost an incredible legend. But to my heart, he was a fantastic person.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a final question here. Final question. Last question for our young Spider-Man.
Were you ever compared to The Rock?
So he asked if you were ever compared to The Rock. And before you answer, I do want to mention, The Rock also played in the CFL.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
For a brief time in Calgary, so...
The Rock come a long way. I mean, you gotta give that guy credit. But you gotta remember one thing, he told me one time, when he was a kid, he used to watch the Hulk, he worshiped the Hulk, because when I began this series, at the time, this was before Pepping Onion, nobody knew, I even won Mr. Universe, not where we're in a sport, no one knew at the time that a big man like myself with muscles that could do different things like be an actor. So The Rock, apparently, he followed my footsteps and he became a terrific actor. So I have to give him a lot of credit for that, but he's a beautiful person, but I didn't realize he played Canadian football because he was almost the same path. Anyway, I want to say thank you for coming. I'll be here all weekend. God bless you. I love you. Embrace your passion. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.